And of course, we're gonna get some girl talk. Are you saying you're not single now? Have I missed something in the past couple weeks? What's happening?
The unrelenting push of commercial projects for Meghan Markle continues at pace. First, we had the incessant desire to try and sell her clothes via affiliate links. Now, Meghan's girl talk, which sounds as natural, which sounds as engaging as listening to some sort of AI bot pretend to be a human being. But we do now have the first look at the rip-off podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder. Our royal mastermind, Angela Levin, is here to listen in. And I promise you, if this is the best I've got, I shudder to think how bad this series is going to be. Listen.
I'm Meghan, and this is Confessions of a Female Founder, a show where I chat with female entrepreneurs and friends about the sleepless nights, the lessons learned, and the laser focus that got them to where they are today.
No time to get down, 'cause I'm moving up. No time to get down, 'cause I'm moving up. No time to get down, 'cause I'm moving up.
We're diving into the highs.
It just started climbing and climbing and climbing, and there was 5,000, 10,000 people on our website. And I called Roger and said, what's going on?
I love
And
that.
the lows.
I'm sitting there the next day. I've everybody. I'm broke. And no one's calling me.
Oh, no. And the kind of advice that turns small ideas into billion-dollar businesses.
I knew in that moment I'd rather stand for something than sell a whole ton of product and stand for nothing.
You have to detach from the outcome. You have to. It's a little bit like the way we talk to our children. It's, did you try your best?
So, Angela Levin, we've got Business 101 with the world's worst entrepreneur, Meghan Markle.
Yeah, she's never done anything really successful, has she? She's either been thrown out or it doesn't work, or she's been nasty about the royal family. I wouldn't call that what she calls herself. I mean, she's incapable of doing something good. And this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm going to absolutely pour stuff in to the public, because now I know I'm strong and I can do it. It's all sort of baloney, isn't it? And I find it, the more she does it, the more I find it repulsive. And as for the girls, as a female myself, I would say that they sound like 11, 12-year-olds giggling. There's endlessly giggling in it. And I think it makes you feel quite sick, actually, because that's either phony or they're stupid girls. They're not meant to be stupid girls because they, become billion-dollar people very easily because they're so clever and so knowledgeable, and they're all going to tell Meghan how they've done it. But I don't think anybody who giggles like that, frankly, can be listened to properly or explain things properly. I mean, why are they finding it all so funny? I don't know. I mean, it's not the way to present yourself.
And why would you listen to Meghan talking about business anyway? But then we get part 2, Angela, and part 2 is all designed to show us that Ms. Markle isn't a bully. She's just someone who loves her girl talk, who loves finding out about other people's love lives, etc., etc., etc. It's even more cringe. Listen.
And of course, we're gonna get some girl talk. Are you saying you're not single now? Have I missed something in the past couple weeks? What's happening? Can we stay focused, please? Okay. And through it all, I'm building a business of my own and getting all sorts of practical advice along the way that I'm very excited to share with you. So join me for Confessions of a Female Founder from Lemonada Media, which, by the way, is also female-founded. Launching April 8th, wherever you get your podcasts. Let's do this, ladies. This is not Shark Tank. Think of this as Dolphin Tank.
Yes.
These are very friendly.
Dolphin Tank.
These are very friendly waters. It's all going to be good.
And that's meant to be a little outtake Angela, which I have absolutely no doubt was scripted and planned and added in because the producers thought, goodness me, we have to try and find a way to humanize this woman.
It's, I mean, it's unbearable. This is the first time I've heard it, and it's unbearable. I don't know how anybody who's supposed to be intelligent and talkative and even kind can sort of giggle like that. Oh, girl talk. What is girl talk? I mean, I can't stand that. I mean, what's a girl talk? That, talking about your bras and talking about boyfriends and giggle, giggle, giggle. I mean, she's 34 now. I don't see, 44 now. I don't see that she should still be giggling about having a boyfriend or something else, someone else having a boyfriend. What's so funny about that? It's not funny at all. People should be able to talk to men in a sort of reasonable way and not come home giggling non-stop. I mean, it is just awful, awful.
Angela, what's really interesting to me about this too, from an industry point of view, as you can imagine, I know quite a lot about this independent media world, about podcasts, and this is basically doing what people were doing about 5 years ago. It's very lazy. She hasn't even bothered to do the podcast on video. And the reality is most people now, most consumers now expect to be able to see the people who are podcasting, just like what we're doing here. And again, there's a certain arrogance about this. And I predict a big flop on the way. It doesn't sound interesting. You can't see her. It's very dated. It's very stilted. I struggle to see who this is aimed at.
Do we know who the people are? Do you know who the people are?
No, so they still haven't even announced who the people she's interviewing is. I mean, she keeps talking about the two founders of Lemonada, and yes, they are women, but I certainly couldn't pick up any very, very famous voices in there, for example, Angela. I mean, we know that Gwyneth Paltrow hasn't taken part. We'll come to her later. We know that Serena Williams hasn't taken part. We know that Beyonce hasn't taken part. We know Kamala Harris hasn't taken part. We know Oprah Winfrey hasn't taken part. I mean, all of these people who used to be in her circle, who were actual stars and genuine female founders, have turned her down. This is a D-list cast.
Yes, I agree with you. You can't actually have it without knowing the person's names and looking at them, because just to hear giggles, various levels, you're not interested in that. How could you make a judgment? How can you learn from these people? If she wants to learn about it and take all the little things that someone says, well, have you tried this and that? And she said, oh, yes, wonderful, that's fine. But if we haven't had any contact with these people, we're not going to giggle about it. It's not funny. It's not interesting. Actually, for Lemonada Media, the two women, I wonder if they can stand up to her, because, she needs someone tough, or it's going to be absolutely shocking. They look very nice, but that's probably not a very good idea.
Now, Angela, of course, this was just part of a flurry of PR, an absolute flurry of PR. So, of course, we had the clothes, but we also had the release of this Instagram picture. Meghan is pimping out her children now and basically giving us more and more and more of Lilibet and Archie, depending on how important the projects she is promoting are. But there have been a huge amount of questions surrounding some of these pictures. So look at this side by side from the Royal Grift, which suggests, Angela, well, I'll show it to you and then we can see what's going on. But certainly it suggests that there are some issues with these pictures, Angela. I mean, look, for example, you see there Archie's leg just happens to be in an identical position. And we've also got some interesting work that Paula M has done with these pictures too, Angela. So you can see she's pointing out some of the similarities. What do you think, Angela? Is this a genuine picture, and what is she playing at?
Well, what I thought was that why on earth is that little boy clinging onto her?
Hmm.
Um,
I
look, he
said
looks
that when I saw
terrified.
it too.
He looks terrified, and his face is right in her blouse. Now, why would he want to do that? Made me feel that he felt very, very scared. I don't know if he's real or he's just in place there, but I can't see the point of showing a photograph of a little boy, you know, who is yours and you love, um, in that position. I mean, it looks awful for him. He's clutching her, but you can see that it doesn't seem to work. Why would she do that? I mean, maybe I don't understand how they can put people in and move people around, but it looks unreal to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly very interesting. And I mean, these photos are just bizarre. They're bizarre, they're odd. But what do you make of her total hypocrisy, Angela? I mean, if you look at the front page of The Sun today, finally the mainstream media are picking up on what we have been saying for months and months and months, which is she is now commercializing or pimping out her children, however you want to put it.
Yes, absolutely. And the royal family won't be keen on that. What she can do, let's say, she can be with them, she can sell if she's not cashing in on royal line. But if she's using her full title, Meghan Duchess of Sussex, she can't do those things. And I think for Harry, it's the one thing he wants. We've discussed this before, that he doesn't want his children shown. So for a little boy to be absolutely pushed into her is frightening for him. And I don't think it's very maternal at all. And I think the royal family are also worried about how she's using them now, because she is quite obviously, never mind what Harry feels like, never care a second. But she's now helping herself sell things on the basis of them, because if they, turn up a few hours later, then she's got this dreadful lot of clothes that she wants to do. She's really using them, and she knows that if they're there, people are still talking about it, so she'll shove in her clothes. I just find it so disappointing that anyone could behave like that, actually. And you just wonder whether she wants to show off that she's so strong and powerful and hates the royal family as much as she did when she left in 2020. And she's going to prove it to them. I can only see that there's something very negative there about what she's doing. And it seems quite cruel to me.
And Angela, the A-listers are turning. We're going to come to Amy Schumer's shock attack in just one moment. But first, can I get your take on this really explosive growing feud between Meghan Markle and the two lifestyle doyens, Martha Stewart, who hasn't hidden her disgust, and specifically Gwyneth Paltrow? Now, this made it on to the Daily Mail newspaper front page today in the United Kingdom. But of course, I've been talking about it for some time. Even that Vanity Fair article last week, Angela, made it very, very clear that Gwyneth was going for Meghan. So what do you make of it? But first, we've partnered with Gundry MD to share this information with you. Would you believe me if I told you inside your pantry right now is one of the healthiest foods on the planet? Yep, it's true. It's not some weird trendy superfood. Don't worry about that. You're actually probably used to cooking with it. But there are countless ways to use olive oil to help yourself look and feel younger. For example, olive oil is a natural way to help you achieve a more youthful appearance. Besides helping you look younger on the outside, it's also a fantastic tool for your insides as well. According to Dr. Stephen Gundry, a famous cardiothoracic surgeon, nutrition expert, and health advocate, you should get as much high-quality olive oil into your daily routine as possible. So that's whether it's taking a shot of it daily or keeping a bottle of it in your bathroom medicine cupboard. But what kind of olive oil is best for your health? Well, any olive oil can give you some benefits, but if you're looking to get the best results, it matters a lot which one you pick. The olive oil industry is huge. I mean, you can tell that by the number of olive oil brands you see at the grocery store, and you can bet they're not all made with the consumer in mind, and many brands may even cut corners one way or another to increase profits. When Dr. Gundry came to this realization, he was appalled. But some olive oils are so powerful, it may only take a few tablespoons a week to see these incredible health benefits. So how can you tell between an olive oil that can be a health booster and which one isn't up to par? In an effort to answer that question, Dr. Gundry has decided to take a stand and release his personal research and findings. This video has gone viral since its release, and it's important you see it so you can start benefiting immediately. You can watch the video right now at getolive1.com/outspoken or by clicking the link which is in the description box below. That's getolive1.com/outspoken, or just click on the link in the description box below. People who have taken his advice have shared their results, saying the olive oil they bought after learning his simple rules have helped change their lives. So make sure you go to getolive1.com/outspoken, or just click on the link in the description box below this video. But now back to the show.
Well, I think she's got the right to do that, and she's obviously can't stand Meghan. As they live very close to each other, she did go along to some party where she was there, and rather than actually be very rude at a party, she's doing this story about herself and making fun of the whole thing, and hope that we're intelligent enough to see that she actually wants nothing to do with Meghan and that she's a phony. Now, she isn't a phony. She's doing it in her own home. She hasn't got makeup on, and she's in her kitchen, and she's doing what Meghan can do. It's absolutely it's not hard. It's easy, and what she's done is ridiculous because she wasn't in her home. She used a garden that wasn't hers. She used all sorts of ridiculous ideas that weren't really ideas. They're little bits and pieces, like all those sprinkles, which nearly drove you mad all over the place. And her views. Well, the views are lovely, but that doesn't make her lovely.
Angela, the thing I think is so crazy, right? So if we think back to the fact that she's launching this Confessions of a Female Founder podcast today. Now, who are the two most famous and successful celebrity lifestyle gurus? They are Martha Stewart and they are Gwyneth Paltrow. So why not pay them some credit? Why not do the decent thing and say you've been inspired by them? Instead, she quite egregiously tried to rip off the Martha Stewart one pot pasta video. And I know we've spoken about that previously, and people can go and find that video on Instagram. But she actually decided to hit back publicly against Gwyneth Paltrow by making a response video of this horrific banana split with her new best friend Kelly. And just have a watch, Angela.
Yeah.
Voila! Voila! Cheers. Cheers. Okay. Like that.
I mean, Angela, if she thinks she's beating Gwyneth with that video, she's really not. Number one, the banana split looks absolutely revolting. And there's just no sense of fun or natural positivity as there was in the Gwyneth video. So if she thinks that's sort of like, oh, one in the eye, Gwyneth, I'm beating you, I just don't really feel like she pulled it off. Do you?
Well, no, she doesn't. But the thing is, as long as she gets a chance to prove herself somehow that she's cleverer in her mind, not in anybody else's mind, it's just incredibly nasty, isn't it? I think she's now becoming so full of herself that she feels she can beat anyone. She's winning the race to destroy the royal family, I'm sure, in her mind. And anybody who doesn't like her and thinks she is the most wonderful girl in the world, woman in the world, she's going to slap them down. Anybody who says anything that's not positive and wonderful, and they don't look at her with awe, and I think these women that she's speaking to, they are almost sort of sounding as if they admire her beyond anybody's image, and she's just showing herself off. I think she's quite ill at the minute. It just makes no sense to behave like that.
No, and then what about
that she's doing?
And what about this Instagram video, which I think we can have a look at, Angela, of the birds. And again, this was in response to the fact that she wasn't with Prince Harry or the children in the Instagram video with Gwyneth Paltrow. So she posts this and says, flying into the week with my family. Thanks to my H for capturing this.
Yeah, well, she calls Harry H now. A lot of people think that that's awful, but that doesn't necessarily bother me at all. But what does bother me is that she says, there we are all flying away. She, with my family, she doesn't have that sort of family. She's got Harry, who's just, like a servant, and 2 children who we've never seen until they were since they've been very, very small. And if they were the children that were hers and Harry's. So where is her family? She's had a rows with her mother. She's had, she doesn't speak to her father. She's got nothing to do with her in-laws. Where's the big family, I wonder? They're not, where are they flying away for a holiday? I mean, is she going to another country? I mean, it's just all nonsense. It's picked up and put out in a minute, isn't it? It's not thought through, and you have to say, hang on. It's like drinking too much. You just down another one and another one and another one, and you just say, calm down. Just don't do so much because it's getting everybody's nerves. I find it getting on my nerves quite a while ago, and it's those balloons get on my nerves. Where are the children? All the adults want the balloons? I don't think so. She's just sort of doing things that are desperation, I think, actually. I can't understand it otherwise, because if you want people to enjoy it, and by the way, with her clothes, you can't get them yet. So what's she doing? Why is she putting up the food and the clothes and everything else that nobody can actually buy yet? There'll be something else going on in a few weeks, and it's nonsense. I can't understand it from a sane discussion and a sane behavior. It just seems very, very odd.
Now, Angela, I mentioned Amy Schumer, and look at this Daily Mail headline. Amy Schumer mocks Meghan Markle for using Sussex as her surname as she becomes the latest US star to take a swipe at the Duchess after pan Netflix cookery show. Again, this one really shocked me because Amy Schumer is part of the woke Hollywood elite. And I thought, did she really do that? But I mean, watch the video for yourself. And my view is she most certainly did.
But I'm having a really good experience with it, and I wanted to keep it real with you about that. And so MIDI Health, I liked it so much. I had such a good experience. I invested in the company, and that's all I have to say. And I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to stir the pot. But why don't we have to call Kate Middleton Kate of Wales?
And Angela, she was stirring the pot, wasn't she? But good on her. It's true.
Yes. I mean, I thought she behaved very nicely. It was very neat. It was very humane, wasn't it? And truthful from her. And so you think, well, she seems, looking the way she speaks, a very nice person. She's not all jumping up and being...
Well, yeah, and Angela, I actually put together like a comparison, a head-to-head, which shows quite clearly that... Well, I didn't put it together, by the way. I don't want to take credit for someone else's work. Someone brilliant put it together. But I used it because I think it shows quite brilliantly the fact that Meghan does weaponize her title and Catherine does not. Here's the proof.
Need to. You keep saying Meghan Markle, I'm Sussex now.
Hi, and welcome to Brightly Storytime. I'm Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and today I'm going to read to you my book called The Bench.
I'm Catherine, and this is William next to me. And
my name
is... Nice to meet all of you. My name's Catherine.
Hello, my name is Catherine, and tonight we're in my bedtime story den.
Yeah.
See?
Well, she warms, you warm to her. She's not trying to show her off and say, you've got to be very careful. course, I am a princess, all right. She's not at all like that. She wants to actually relate to people and be warm and listen to them and be their friend. And that's what she does absolutely brilliantly, which is why all the little children rush around her and hug her and don't want her to go because they feel safe. But, you don't have to give your title all the time. You absolutely don't. And it's just snobby. And particularly as she's no longer a working royal, sort of thing, how dare you use that when you're actually only using it for yourself, not for the public, not for all the people in the country and the Commonwealth. You're doing it so that you make sure people know just how important you are, except she's not doing anything for the royals. It's all about her. And we've seen absolutely dustbinfuls of things about her.
Angela, this criticism from Graydon Carter, the ex-Vanity Fair editor, will surely hurt Meghan, given that Graydon Carter was close to Princess Diana in the 90s. I mean, remember that famous night when she was in the LBD and King Charles, then Prince Charles, was admitting that he had committed adultery. At that event, she was going to meet Graydon Carter. And he talks about that it's wild, I'm wild about Harry, Vanity Fair front page. Or cover, I should say, sorry. That was Meghan's first big cover after dating Harry. And he reveals that Meghan told the reporter, excuse me, is this going to all be about Harry? Because I thought we were going to be talking about my charities and my philanthropy. And he said of Meghan, yes, this woman is slightly adrift on the facts and reality. And he also said that Diana, who was, remember, his friend, would feel great sorrow about the fact that Harry has been pulled away from his family like this, especially his brother, but also his father. So quite damning words from Graydon Carter towards Meghan Markle.
It's very damning words. And as the fact that he didn't recognise Meghan when one of his staff came and said, oh, can we use her on the cover? Because he didn't realise what was going to happen immediately after it came out. And he said, well, who is she? Never heard of her. And he was told, and he didn't like her from the start. And he's been right, really, from his own view. And not only was he very close to Diana, but he, is very close to lots of top people in the world, because it was such a good job that he had. And it's brave of him to come out now and say how he feels. And I expect he's waited until he's bursting because she's so annoyed him and so frustrated him and made him so angry that he does come out with all this. He's not being rude. He's just saying what he thinks. And people are pouring in and saying things about her, which actually seem to run off her skin very easily because she won't take any notice. And as long as her name's there and it's in the papers, she's fine.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.